So let's talk about. So I was talking about the two sides of furniture, which is standard and custom. But I want to talk about the little more grim side, which is the third side, which is of mass manufacture, and it is kind of taking overpowering everything that the niche, which we are doing, the niche as woodworking we are doing. So where do you see all of that going? Because customers are looking for this thing called sasta sundar tikau, which is cheap, beautiful, and durable. And everyone says that all the three cannot come in one. So how do you see this going towards them? We all know who they are, but let's talk a little bit about that.
Today we can see two different sectors. One is the industry, and the other one is the artisans. So I believe it's about the scale and then splitting up the process. The industry will split up all the process. The artisan will do everything in a smaller scale. Artisans need skilled laborers. Industry has broke down the process. So if they have quality check at each process, they can take people for doing one particular operation. Does not require a whole set of skills. I believe that we could feel insecure as an artisan when we see the price in internet on the selling platforms, and I believe it would be difficult to match those prices anyway. But I think we should add something else different. Like I think we should be more into customization. I believe we should be also entering in a dialogue with the customer. So maybe a customer would require pieces online, but also our pieces that have been fixed on site, or the design that they would like. So for me, it could be we could feel insecurity if we compare it, but I feel like we could also orient ourselves as an artisan to just offer a different set of things.
So you're trying to say that no matter what, we have to try to strike a balance between what is and what we are. So in a way, I think you're trying to say that.
So, yeah, so I'm trying to say that we need to explain the customer what they get with us, and explain them that what we are using. We have to educate the customer on what choices we are making and all these things, and that it takes obviously time, and that it takes obviously but they will get whatever they would like to get. The customer also would maybe why is this so expensive? Because I can get this chair for so cheap. Then the question in the middle will say, then why don't you get this chair? Why are you coming to me? Yeah, I want this chair, but I want it a little different. If you want it a little different, then we are here to help you to get it the way you want. And I believe anyway it's needed. We are a lot of people. I think industry is needed. So, but industry can also recognize the artisans. That would be a nice thing. So outsource work to them, include them in their process, in their ecosystem also, and also practice continuous training. So if they practice in their premises continuous training, they would offer also to the artisans a new set of people that are carpenters, certified carpenters, that could do their entrepreneurship or their companies, or work in different companies which are a smaller scale. So I believe this is what I would request to the industry. They can look into their skills, because I work with the industry. We do prototypes here also in BWS, and if the skill their people. They should also okay that once they are skilled, they can go in the woodworking field, because it has happened opposite. We were artisans and they have taken some artisans to develop the industry. So I believe this should be the right balance, woodworkers and the customers to be also aware about why they can get what they want, because they need still to speak to someone to get it customized. Yeah. I come from an ancient trade from the 12th century. We have been passing on the knowledge from master to apprentices since the 12th century. And we have been knowing the tradition and the innovation. So this is the particularity of our trade. So we are journeymans. We travel from one place to another, and in French we call that the companions. We are brotherhood, and we practice evening classes where we learn beyond what we have learned in the daytime, right, at work. So we do that, and at the end, to be a companion, we have to do a masterpiece to be vetted by our alumni. And all these set of people are working in the industry, are working in the artisanal sector also. So there is, and also teaching. So there is multiple branches anyway. So there is not one that is better than the other. It's just like, I think if wood is in the center, we could just organize ourselves to distribute the skills and also to pick what is the best for whom. Anyway, the society needs a lot of furniture for the needs. But in the same time, we also sometimes would like to have something which is a little more personalized, and also as a customer taken care more. And I believe that when there is humanity in whatever we do, like there is a presence of somebody, the things are much more interesting and much more
beautiful.
Beautiful. But without discriminating the industry, because we still need the industry. I'm very conscious of this.
So I've heard this word dimension very closely connected when I listen to Bram Rose. So let's talk a little bit about dimensions.
Yeah, so Dimension is a multidisciplinary network of mentees and mentors. So when I was in Kolkata, I wanted to build my company, and a lot of R&D on which wood, which screw, which glue, which finish, which oil, and then finding other peers, other people who are doing the same as I want to do, to get their knowledge about incorporation, even the way they even read that the practices in different states and things like this. So the things which are very not, we are not used to speak in general, but as soon as I started, so I started also teaching in maker spaces. So I met a lot of architects. So I mentioned that our workshop is also design and manufacture. So we bring the designers and the carpenters together to have a better communication. So in the same group, we have designers and makers, and in the same time, so multidisciplinary. And in the same time, we have people who are starting, so interns in architecture, or apprentices in woodworking, or interns in woodworking. Now we have one university in the north called BSDU, Bharatiya Skill Development University. So to bring all those people together on the way, whenever I found anyone who would like to perform better, I just placed them in the same WhatsApp group. I just gave the name as Dimension because it relates a little bit what we are doing all. and it's a little bit like perspective. It's a group where everybody has its own preference on what skill would like to perform the most. So multidisciplinary is that also. Some people prefer joinery, some people prefer cabinet making, some people prefer architecture, engineering, metal fabrication. But we all are linked and we all can find a solution. When I spoke about the oils and all these things, we sometimes have session on debate which is the best oil that they have, which machine is the best, and so on. So it makes us win all a lot of time, and it makes us also sharing for the profession, for the trade, not only for keeping our secrets for ourselves, and uh, and then being stuck many times in our own state, in our own workshop. But then dimension as a wider uh, future, because we also have the mentees and the mentors. So the mentees can go from one dimension to another, so they can start their own journey. So the journey under dimension. So if somebody learn furniture design at Bram Woodcrafting Studio, can go to wooden design in Pondicherry, can go to permanent object in Bangalore. So it's just basically uh, a group of being confident together, sharing knowledge, sharing apprentices. Obviously, if I teach my apprentice the way I like, he will get this in his toolbox, whatever I've told him, and he will meet another mentor, and he will make his toolbox better. And then I believe that very in a very organic way, we can all learn and we can all share. And yeah, it's for help, assistance. I'm an executive member at FFSI, Furniture Fitting Skill Council, which has been recognized by Skill India and other institutions. So of skill our labors all over the country, all the vocational professions. So basically, we are trying to register all the carpenters that has been learning from father to son, and give them the legitimacy of being a carpenter. And that is the first step. Once we do that, we know also how much skilled labor we have in the country, and we need all the players. So we were speaking about the industrialist and the artisans to work together to basically start with an apprenticeship. We need also all the institutions that are now universities. So I mentioned BSDU, Bharatiya University, Skill Development University in Jaipur. And we have other institutions, excellence training centers in India, but not so many. So companies, institutions would work together to practice basically a continuous training. So if we are evaluated at a certain level, if we spray our career into 10 levels, we could then get access to a different remuneration, know where how the country is been skilled, and what do we have to work on when all these institutions on what they have to teach on, what is a curriculum, what is missing in the country, what are the skills which are missing in the country, and the woodworking. Obviously, all these studios through each studio would give obviously as a third party, not as part of FFSC, but maybe more envy and inspiration to the youth to start kind of a career or in woodworking or into design. And yeah, that's what we are starting. Right? That's what we are doing.